this your first time in New York?
Yes, it is my first time in New York. I'm really liking it.
How did you get into farming?
I was born into farming, and every day I'm just learning something new.
But you're also an advocate for farming.
Yeah.
How did you get into that?
So when I was in grade 3, we were doing a social studies unit. And then we did the test for the unit. And the first question was true or false, agriculture is bad for the environment. And I knew to get a good mark on the test, I had to answer true. So I put a sad face next to it.
Why did it make you feel sad? And what did you feel was misunderstood there?
It made me realize that a lot of my classmates don't understand about where their food comes from. So my teacher asked me to make some videos from the farm and bring them to class. My parents also thought they were really cute, so they posted them on social media. They went viral, and I just took it from there. Did you always know you wanted to be a filmmaker?
Being in love with films, I figured I want to get into filmmaking, and I want to travel, and I want to make movies and tell stories. So what do you love about advocacy for farming?
I really want to help the agriculture industry tell their story and get the message out there. But I also love to teach people by telling our farm story and helping people understand agriculture. And it's taken me some really cool places, like here.
What do you think of New York?
I quite love it. It's a lot different from the farm. We've walked everywhere on this trip.
Did you bring your farming boots with you?
Yep.
How was it walking around in those in the city?
Oh, they're so comfy.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Do you think you could ever live in a small town?
I think eventually someday, a smaller town, something a little more quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for right now, I enjoy New York.
Yeah.
I enjoy the big city.
Did you come into this conversation with any negative perceptions on the agriculture world?
Yeah, I think I did a little bit because, right now, the climate and the environment, it's such a huge topical issue that everyone's talking about, and we're looking at ways to address climate change. And from what I've read and heard, that agriculture is a large contributor to climate change. So those are, I think, just some of the conversations that are going around right now that I'm familiar with and that I've been hearing.
We as farmers are also trying to work towards sustainability. A big example of that being zero-till farming. On our farm, we've been doing it since the 1970s. We're trying every day to make our farm more sustainable and help the environment.
What's a stereotype about farming that isn't true?
I think people think we're putting too much chemical down. We're only using enough to provide quality and quantity. We want to kill the bugs that eat our crops, get rid of the weeds that steal nutrients and moisture, and protect our crop from diseases that could kill the crop. How has this conversation changed your perspective on the agriculture industry?
Well, one thing that I definitely took from this conversation was your story about being in school and the question on your test. One thing that I learned from that is farmers are misunderstood. And I think it's very important what you're doing with the advocacy, because you're teaching people about what farmers do and kind of restoring that image if people are thinking negatively about agriculture and farming.
We as farmers need to share our stories to clear up the myths, and the public needs to actually see what a farm's like and maybe ask why.
In what ways do you think we are similar?
We are both storytellers. I'm telling the story of our farm, and you're telling stories through film.
Right. I tell stories of people like you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'll tell your story someday.